I see that surprise on people's faces every time I say my age. And you know what's most interesting? I don't do anything extraordinary. I don't take any expensive medication. I don't follow any fad diets that appear on magazine covers. What I do is so simple that most people dismiss it without even trying, and that's exactly why it works. Before you continue watching, tell me in the comments, where are you watching this from right now? What city? What state? I want to know if this content is reaching those who really need it. Every single day, without exception, I spend 20 minutes exposed to the sun. No sunscreen, no hat. I let the sunlight actually touch my skin. Now I know what you're thinking. Isn't that dangerous? And the honest answer is, it depends on what you call dangerous. Because what most people don't know is that deprivation of natural sunlight is one of the most silent factors associated with accelerated aging, low immunity, and disruption of the circadian rhythm. Morning sunlight, especially before 10 a.m., stimulates the production of vitamin D3 in the body in a way that no supplement can replicate with the same efficiency. It also regulates cortisol, which is the stress hormone, and signals to every cell in your body that it's time to be active, alert, and fully functioning. I can't remember the last time I felt tired without reason, and I believe part of that starts right here, in those 20 minutes every morning before anything else. 3 times a week for 25 minutes, I walk. That's it. But let me explain what happens inside your body during those 25 minutes, because then you'll understand why I wouldn't trade this habit for anything. When you walk at a moderate and steady pace, your heart begins pumping blood more efficiently to peripheral tissues. The mitochondria, which are the energy powerhouses of your cells, increase their activity. The brain releases BDNF, which is a protein linked to neuroplasticity, memory, and protection against cognitive decline. In other words, every step you take is literally slowing down cellular aging. I don't run, I don't go to the gym, I walk. And at 91 years old, my thinking is clear, my memory is sharp, and my energy for the day is real. Tell me in the comments, where are you from? I want to know which part of the world the people watching this video are coming from. Every day I drink a juice, but not just any juice. It's beet, carrot, and orange. And this trio has a combination of bioactive compounds that, from the perspective of cellular health, is very hard to beat. Beet is rich in natural nitrates, which the body converts into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide dilates blood vessels, improves circulation, and reduces blood pressure. Studies show that regular consumption of beet juice is associated with improved physical performance and oxygenation of tissues, including brain tissue. Carrot brings beta-carotene, which is a precursor to vitamin A, essential for the integrity of mucous membranes, skin, and vision. And orange adds vitamin C, which enhances the absorption of minerals present in the other 2 ingredients and acts as a powerful antioxidant against free radicals. This juice isn't a culinary recipe, it's a health protocol, and my body responds to it every single day. Before 10 p.m., I'm already asleep, no exceptions. And this is probably the habit that most impacts my vitality, because sleep is not just rest. Sleep is when the body carries out its main regeneration processes: cellular repair, memory consolidation, hormonal balance, and the clearance of metabolic waste from the central nervous system through the lymphatic system. When you chronically sleep after midnight, you are depriving your body of specific hormonal windows that only occur in the early hours of the night. The growth hormone peak, for example, happens between midnight and 2 a.m., but only if you're already asleep before that. I go to bed early, I wake up with energy, and I don't need coffee to function in the morning because my body has truly rested. Leave a comment below telling me what time you usually go to sleep. I want to understand the patterns of the people watching me. I regularly consume foods rich in omega-3, and I'm not talking about supplements, I'm talking about real food. Omega-3 is an essential fatty acid, which means your body cannot produce it on its own. You need to eat it. And the health benefits are extensive: reduction of systemic inflammatory markers, protection of cell membranes, support for cognitive function, balance of triglycerides, and cardiovascular health. Chronic low-grade inflammation is now recognized as one of the central mechanisms of pathological aging. And omega-3 is one of the most studied compounds in the modulation of that process. I didn't age the way people expected because my body is not in a state of chronic inflammation, and nutrition plays a direct role in that. Two seeds that very few people take seriously but that I have been using for decades: sesame and pumpkin seeds. Sesame is one of the most concentrated plant-based sources of bioavailable calcium that exists. It also contains lignans, which are compounds with antioxidant activity that have been studied for their relationship with hormonal balance, especially in older individuals. Sesame also brings zinc, magnesium, iron, and vitamin B1. Pumpkin seeds are exceptionally rich in zinc, which is an essential mineral for immunity, protein synthesis, and prostate health in men. They also contain tryptophan, which is a precursor to serotonin and melatonin, indirectly contributing to sleep quality. I add these seeds to my day simply, without any ceremony, and they are part of a set of choices that, added together, explain how I am the way I am at 91 years old. Now I'm going to talk about something that goes against everything you were probably taught about healthy eating. I have never used soybean oil, canola oil, sunflower oil, or any industrialized vegetable oil for cooking. Never. I use lard and coconut oil. And here is the scientific reason for that. Industrialized vegetable oils are rich in linoleic acid, which is a highly unstable omega-6 when exposed to heat. When heated, this type of fat undergoes oxidation and forms compounds called aldehydes and oxidized lipids, which are substances with inflammatory potential and are associated with cellular oxidative stress. Lard, contrary to what has been spread for decades, is an animal fat with a much more thermally stable fatty acid profile. It contains oleic acid, the same found in olive oil, and does not undergo significant degradation at domestic cooking temperatures. Coconut oil, in turn, is composed mainly of medium-chain fatty acids, which are metabolized differently by the liver and provide fast and clean energy to the body, especially to the brain. I have cooked with these my entire life, and my cardiovascular system to this day works very well. Every morning, my breakfast includes eggs and avocado. Not occasionally, every single day. The egg is one of the most nutritionally complete foods that exists. It contains all essential amino acids in ideal proportions, plus choline, which is a fundamental nutrient for liver and nervous system health, and lutein and zeaxanthin, which are carotenoids that protect vision. The yolk specifically contains dietary cholesterol, and I know that still frightens a lot of people. But what the most recent research shows is that for most healthy individuals, dietary cholesterol has minimal impact on serum cholesterol, and that the body's response to egg consumption depends far more on the overall metabolic context than on the egg itself. Avocado adds high-quality monounsaturated fat, potassium, magnesium, folate, and soluble fibers that feed the gut microbiome. And the gut microbiome today is understood as one of the central pillars of immunity and mental health. This breakfast keeps me satisfied, gives me stable energy for hours, and does not cause any glycemic spike followed by an energy crash. Tell me in the comments, have you ever included eggs and avocado in your breakfast? What is your biggest challenge when it comes to changing your eating habits? I am 91 years old, and I don't wake up every day thinking about my age. I wake up thinking about what I'm going to do that day. The habits I described here are not trends. They are not social media fads. They are practices I have built over decades, consistently, without rushing, without radicalism. And the result is here in my energy, in my mental clarity, in my ability to move, to think, to be present. You don't need to start everything at once. Start with one: the morning sun, perhaps, or the juice, or going to bed 1 hour earlier. The body responds when you begin to respect the processes it was made to carry out. And if this video made sense to you, share it with someone you believe needs to hear this. Not because it's trending or because it looks good to share, but because the person you tag here might be in need of exactly this perspective. I'll be back next week with more. Take care of yourself.